The message came at 3:07 a.m. My phone buzzed once, lighting up the dark bedroom with that pale, ghostly glow. Half asleep, I reached for it, expecting a work email or maybe a spam alert. But the sender's name made my heart jolt. Lena. My wife. I'm in Paris. I'll be back in a week, red heart. No context. No warning. Just that one line. Sweet, casual, like she'd gone grocery shopping and not halfway across the world. For a few seconds I just stared at the message, the warmth of sleep draining out of my body. My mind started replaying everything. The late nights, the sudden secretive texts, the new perfume she'd started wearing, and the way she'd smiled at her phone more than at me lately. I'd told myself I was paranoid, that she was tired, that we were just drifting like all couples do after years together. But Paris, that wasn't a misunderstanding. That was intentional distance. My pulse thudded in my ears. I opened Instagram, something I hadn't done in months. She'd once tagged herself as private, but people always slip up. It took less than a minute to find her. Her story was still public. There she was, standing by the Seine, laughing in a soft beige coat I'd bought her for Christmas. The caption, "Sometimes you just have to live dizzied." And beside her, in the reflection of a cafe window, a man, broad-shouldered, familiar. My stomach dropped as recognition hit. Ethan. Her work friend. The guy she'd mentioned once or twice, always casually. The one who helped her with client presentations, and just got promoted. I remembered shaking his hand once at her office Christmas party. Polite smile, firm grip, the kind of man who looked like he could take whatever he wanted. And apparently he had. My wife. I don't remember typing the reply, but my fingers were steady. Hope you're having fun with him. A divorce is waiting for you here. I hit send, then blocked her. No hesitation, no second thoughts, just silence. For a long moment I sat there, staring at the wall, the glow of the phone fading to black. The clock ticked on. The house, our house, felt suddenly alien. Her slippers still by the door, her coffee mug on the counter, her scent lingering in the sheets. All of it felt like evidence in a crime scene. By morning my phone wouldn't stop ringing. Her mother, her father, over and over. First I ignored the calls. But the third one came with a message. Please pick up, Daniel. It's not what you think. Not what I think. That line, the oldest trick in the book. Still, part of me wanted to hear their excuses, to see how far they'd go to protect their daughter's lie. So I answered. Daniel. Her mother's voice trembled on the other end. Please don't do anything rash. She didn't mean for it to happen like this. So it did happen, I said quietly. Was. The sound of a faint sob. Daniel, she was supposed to tell you. It's complicated. She's been confused. Confused enough to go to Paris with another man. She said she needed time to think. Her father cut in, stern now, trying to sound in control. You two have been distant lately. She needed space. Space doesn't come with an airfare and a +1, Mr. Harper. Silence. Then her mother whispered. She said you'd never understand. Hung up. I spent the rest of the day in a haze. My hands moved, but I couldn't feel them. I made coffee I didn't drink. Tried to work, but the numbers on my laptop blurred into meaningless shapes. Everywhere I looked, she was there. Her handwriting on sticky notes, her favorite wine in the fridge, the framed photo from our honeymoon in Santorini where she'd clung to me like I was the only man on earth. Maybe I had been. Until I wasn't. By the third day, she started trying from other numbers. Unknown calls. Texts from mutual friends. One of them, Sarah, finally broke through. She's a mess, Daniel. She's crying non-stop. Please at least talk to her. She made her choice. You don't understand. She said you pushed her away. She said you stopped loving her. Stopped loving her. I laughed out loud, a harsh, bitter sound that startled even me. Stopped loving her. I'd spent the last 2 years trying to pull her back. Planning trips, small gestures, late-night talks that ended with her staring off into the distance like her heart was elsewhere. Turns out it was. That night I went into our bedroom. No, my bedroom now, and opened the top drawer of her dresser. Her jewelry box sat there half empty. Underneath it, tucked away, was her old leather notebook. She used to jot down thoughts, quotes, fragments of poetry. I don't know what made me open it, but I did. The first few pages were old. Our anniversary notes, silly doodles, reminders. Then came newer entries. One line stood out. E feels like a spark I didn't know I needed. D doesn't see me anymore. My vision blurred. Page after page, I read pieces of her unraveling. Moments where she'd fallen out of love, not because I'd hurt her, but because she'd grown restless. She wanted adventure, spontaneity. She wanted someone who wasn't bound by routine or bills or late-night exhaustion. She wanted a fantasy. No, I was just real life. A week later, the front door opened. She came home. No call, no warning, just the sound of the key turning in the lock. I was in the kitchen when she walked in, still in her travel clothes, eyes red and tired. "Daniel," she started, her voice breaking. I didn't speak. She stepped closer, her suitcase bumping the floor. "Please. Just let me explain." "Explain what?" I asked, my tone colder than I intended. "The weather in Paris. Or how it feels to cheat on your husband with your coworker." Tears filled her eyes. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this." "How was it supposed to happen, Lena?" "Slowly. Secretly." "Were you planning to come back and pretend nothing happened?" She shook her head violently. "No, I was going to tell you. Swear. I just what?" She faltered, her lip trembling. "I didn't mean to fall for him. Just happened. And when I realized what I'd done, I panicked. I needed to get away, to think." "Think?" I repeated. "You flew across the world to think." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "I still love you, Daniel." That was the moment something inside me snapped. Not in anger, but in finality. "No," I said. "You love who I used to be. You love the version of us that existed before you decided it wasn't enough." Her tears came harder. "Please don't do this. We can fix it." I walked past her, heading for the door. "There's nothing to fix, Lena. You broke it. And I finally stopped trying to tape it back together." 2 months later, the divorce papers were signed. No fights, no lawyers tearing each other apart. Just quiet signatures and unspoken grief. Her parents sent me a letter afterward, apologizing for everything. I never replied. Life went on as it always does. The house felt emptier but cleaner somehow, like it had exhaled all the tension that had built over the years. Sometimes I'd pass by a cafe and see couples laughing together, hands intertwined, eyes filled with that early-stage wonder. And for a moment I'd envy them. Then I'd remember the lesson Lena left behind. That love isn't lost in one night or one lie. It erodes slowly, day by day, when one person stops showing up. When one person starts dreaming of Paris. A month ago I got an email from her. "I'm sorry for everything. I thought I wanted freedom, but I just wanted to be seen. I hope you're happy now." I didn't reply. I didn't need to. 'Cause for the first time in years I finally was.